They thought you beg. They thought you would keep, texting, keep explaining, keep fighting for people who already decided to misunderstand you. So they ignored you, they played with your feelings, they trusted how much pain you can tolerate. Now, but something changed. One day you got tired, you felt it was enough, and you were tired of proving your worth, and you decided to take that step. You were tired of constant being in the position where people question your sincerity. You were tired of shrinking yourself just to keep other people comfortable. And then something changed in you. You disappeared. No announcement, no revenge, no final paragraph, just silence. At first, they thought it was normal. You were always going to come back because it's usual of you to go quiet then return. And while they laughed, you rebuilt yourself in private. You learned discipline. You protected your peace. You stopped reacting. You stopped, seeking validation from people who were not ready to prove themselves to you. You stopped communicating your feelings because it didn't matter to them. Then months later, they began to realize that they lost something. They weren't looking for that version of you. They were thinking you would get back to that normal situation where you have to come running after them, texting them, seeking reconciliation. But that was not what they got. They watched you give your all in those relationships. They called you too emotional. And when you tried to express yourself, they said you were overreacting. They watched you stay loyal and called you all sorts of names. They watch you forgive people easily. Whoever doesn't deserve your forgiveness, you gave it just because you wanted the peace for yourself. And every time you stayed quiet, they thought they had power over you. Then one day, your strength came. You stopped responding. No more anger, no more drama, no more over-explanation, just distance. You kept quiet, and that was when they realized that they were never prepared for your absence. They were never prepared for this kind of character you were putting up. They were never prepared for this version of you. Now, because people could only notice your value, because they were no longer there to assess you as usual, and while they were busy replacing you with other people, you were rebuilding yourself in silence, in growth, in discipline. And when they moved on, they were looking for the version of you in other people. They started looking for you everywhere. You turn heartbreak into focus. You turn isolation into growth. You turn your silence into power. Now, they can't find that old version of you. The version they have to put up is the version they were never prepared for. A lot of times, it happens, but this doesn't happen overnight. Nobody talk about the moment a good person becomes cold. They don't talk about the moment a good person gets burned out. It happens after being too used over time, and after forgiving too much, after feeling unwanted in places where you gave genuine love. You stopped asking questions. You stopped wanting to matter. You just wanted your sanity. And that was when they discovered that something has changed. Because you stopped chasing, because you stopped seeking validation, because you started doing things that really meant much to you rather than pleasing them as usual. And suddenly, they began to notice that something is going on. And what did they do? They felt, oh, it's normal. Because while everybody thought you were looking for something else, you were busy finding yourself. You realize peace is more important than attention. You realize distance is more powerful than revenge. And you sought it. You sought that peace within yourself. And you also realize that self-respect matters more than being underrated. Now you move differently. You have less emotion, no more this. You have more discipline, no more losing yourself to things and people that do not appreciate you. And that part of you was what they underestimated. Now you can tell all the story about the person they lost because they're never going to find that person again.